If you're someone who feels a little bit stuck while you want to speak English, and also you feel that like you can't think in English, you're just translating into your head from Arabic to English or from French to English, I think that today I might give you the solution. So if you are interested, don't forget to follow the video until the end. Hello you guys, how are you doing? I hope that you are doing good and well. بصحة وعافية إن شاء الله. I am just so happy every time I'm back and I do videos because I think this is my passion. I really like to do videos and to help you to be able to speak English. So if you are a new member here, hello, my name is Ines, and what I do in this channel is that I help you to be able to speak English one day. So do not forget to subscribe into my channel because it is really, really helping me. Something else that can really help me is to give me a thumbs up, yeah, because it helps the video to go more into more and more of people. And yeah, let's start. Before starting, as usual, guys, I always talk about my school because I think it can really, really help you if you are someone who is living in Europe in a developed country and you can pay by card on internet, because unfortunately, I know that I have my community are a lot on Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and sometimes some of those countries you can't pay on internet, and unfortunately, I do not have other ways. I just have this way of like paying on by internet. So if you are someone that you are watching me and you're from Europe, or I am based in Paris in France, and you really want to practice English, we have currently 3 teachers who are in my school, and it's our school actually, and we help you just to practice and practice and practice until you will be inshallah able to speak English. So if you are interested, do not forget to click on the link below and let's start our exciting course. Well, to start this whole thing of thinking in English, I want you to know that if you are not an advanced person in English, you are maybe a beginner, it's impossible for you to start just, you know, thinking in English because simply it's not your mother language, okay? So you need to be really, really patient until you will be able to think in English. As you're seeing me, I'm not a person who is living in, you know, in an English country. I was not born right there. I never traveled to an English country actually. But as you're seeing, everything is possible. I can actually speak English and think in English without taking time to translate into my head and everything. So everything is possible, and I'm going to share with you, I think, 8 to 9 tips how you can be able to think in English. So you have to follow these exact steps, okay? And you tell me in the comments where is for you the most efficient tip that you are going to apply. The first tip is going to be about surrounding yourself with English. And I think that I speak about this in every single video that I do, because it is so true and so crucial and important, especially if you want to be able to think in English. You have to expose yourself into this language. And how are you going to do that? You're going to watch a lot of films, to listen to a lot of podcasts or videos, to, I don't know, try to immerse yourself and expose yourself as much as possible to English. And let me tell you that I know that I do a lot of mistakes while I'm speaking English. Why? Because I didn't learn it in the traditional way. I learned it just by like 70% just by watch into films. I really like films, and also it depends on the period. Sometimes I like to watch some happy films. Sometimes I'm sad, so I would like to watch a sad film. It depends on my, on how am I feeling. But I think that films are my therapy, and it's have always been like that. And this is why, you guys, I just want to thank you so much, because you're always correcting me into the comments and telling me, Ines, it's not like that. How do we say this or use this in this context or something? And I want to thank you so much, because I've learned so much during this journey with you in YouTube. And if you are wondering why I do a lot of mistakes while speaking English, it's simply because I learned English 70 to 80% just by watching. And for me, the aim of learning English or learning how to speak English, it's not to seek perfection. It's not to be perfect in English. It's just simply so that you can speak comfortably without thinking and taking time, and you can understand the person that is talking with you. Okay. And if you can speak and send the message easily to that person, this is for me, you can speak English. All right. So for me, it doesn't matter where you live. As I told you before, I was living in Algeria, my country. I love my country, especially Algerian people who are watching me, 1, 2, 3, viva l'Algérie. So yeah, I lived in Algeria before, and then I moved to France. But I think that also, since I was a really young girl, like since 11 years old, I was really watching a lot of English videos or English films, British and also American films. And this is why I think, this is why I learned it quickly. Not quickly, but because I just started learning it so young. But expose yourself as much as possible to English. And now, alhamdulillah, that I have, a huge community on YouTube and on social media generally, I get this amazing chance to, communicate with native speakers. And sometimes some native speakers ask me if I live in an English country, or maybe I did my studies in an English country. And when I tell them that, no, I just learned it by myself, they are so shocked. Wow, okay. So it doesn't matter where you live, as much as you are going to invest your time into this language and surround yourself into listening a lot of English. The second tip is going to be about speaking out loud. You guys, if you want to be able to think in English easily and inshallah one day be able to speak even more better than me, you have to start speaking out loud. There is no other way. So for example, with us in our school, even kids, even because we're teaching kids and adults, like whatever is your age or the age of your kids, we do give courses to them. But it's even for kids, it's not traditional courses. Actually, it's really courses about we do push you to practice and talk English out loud. All right. And so it's simply why you have to try to speak out loud, because it is going to help you or to push you organize your thoughts in English, right? And as I told you in the beginning, it's going to be so hard. Okay. I'm not gonna tell you it's going to be easy. No, it's going to be challenging. Yes, because it's not your mother language. So you're obliged to just translate and think in Arabic, and just, okay, how do we say that word in English? But the more you're going to force yourself and the more you're going to speak out loud, the more it's going to be easy. And I just, from my experience, a language is just about repetition, because it's always the same words, especially if your aim is to communicate in your daily life. Believe me, there is the same words, always the same words. So because you're going to force yourself to just speak out loud, you're gonna notice that it's always the same words that are just repeated over and over. So of course, it depends where you are, but if you are in a quiet room, in a quiet moment, try to practice with yourself. It can seem weird, but as I told you in the last video, I think it's, if you are just going to ask this question to like every single one who just learned English by himself, or learned English, generally, not a native speaker, a learner, an English learner, he will absolutely tell you the same thing that I'm telling you, that he was or she was speaking out loud just by herself. And it can seem weird in the beginning, but you have to push yourself to do it. And by the time, it's going to be very, a usual thing. It's going to be a habit. And this is what I want you to do, is for this thing to become a habit for you. Also, another important thing, if you're wondering how to practice speaking out loud, you can just simply describe what you're doing. Describe the situation where you are. Describe your feelings. I told you this example before. When I'm cooking, for example, when I am cooking, I am just trying to describe what I'm doing step by step. All right. So I'm adding the salads here. Okay, now I think that I'm gonna add some tomatoes. We have to add some seasons, a little bit of salt, garlic, and oil, lemon, etc. Okay, or I really like this example to anticipate things. For example, when I was learning how to drive, my teacher, who was giving me lessons how to drive, she was telling me to describe what I'm doing. Yeah. And it's actually really helped me to learn how to drive. I was anticipating and saying, okay, now I'm moving forward. Now I see that I have to stop right here. Okay, it might be dangerous, or I have to turn right, I have to turn left, etc. And it helps you really to push yourself and to be more and more comfortable with it. And believe me that the more you're going to push yourself to speak out loud, the more you're going to be confident, even if it is just by yourself. Or if you want, it can be with a teacher. And this is what actually we do, is that we let you just practice and the teacher is going to correct you back. But if you want to try to do it by yourself, you can do it over and over, and you will see that by the time you are gaining so much confidence. Now, moving to the third tip. The third tip is all about using images. I noticed that when, for example, when I watch a film, or on my social media too, when I'm just, watching things, I noticed that I learn English. I noticed that I was learning English faster than ever. Why? Because my eyes was connected to those pictures. And when you are learning by pictures, the learning is going to be easier, and it's going to trigger a part of your brain right here. There is going to make the learning for you easier, faster, and more enjoyable for you. So this is why a lot of people, not just me, a lot of people learned English so fast just by watching TV. Why? Because we are we're not just listening, we're not just reading words, but we are connecting words to images. And when you correct words to images, it's something really, really powerful. So my advice for you is to, again, watch something, a film, or also to put your profile in English, not just your not your whole phone if you don't want to, but at least your social media, the platform where you are really, really present. So for example, for me, I'm really present on Instagram. So when you're going to see my profile, it's all in English. I'm following all the hijabi women, American women and everything. So it's all in English. And so, for example, if she is describing that she is doing grocery shopping, she is actually in the store showing that she is doing the grocery shopping. And it's easier for me to learn that because I've seen it. I've seen the real experience actually. And so it makes it very, very easier. And do this tip, especially this tip, and you will see how it's easier for you. Or also what we do for our students is that we simply give them some images, all right? And we just tell them to try to describe this image, okay? And by describing this image, the person is connecting those words into the images. So this is something really powerful. Try to do this if you want this exercise, because we do it in our school. And tip number 4, it's thinking English in everyday activities. Actually, what I'm giving you is all the tips that I'm giving you here are connected to each other. So you need to listen until the end of the video, because there are some very, very powerful tips right there. So yes, you need to think in English in your everyday activities. So if you are a student, from the moment that you wake up to the moment that you go to school, for example, try to describe step by step what you're doing. As I told you, the last example about when I was driving, I was trying to anticipate and saying what I'm doing. So the exact same thing. Describe that, okay, I just woke up. Also, this is really helpful for you to conjugate the words in the right tense. So I just woke up. I woke up in the past. I'm going to brush my teeth. It's in the future. And so I am washing my face. The present continues, right? It's really helping you to use simple and correct sentences and structures also.